How to build a business system. Listen, your employees probably aren't incompetent. They just don't have the system that you forgot to build. You work 60-hour weeks because everything really just depends on you and the things that are in your head. We want to change that today. By the end of this video, you're going to build your first system in under 30 minutes. So I don't go to McDonald's often. In fact, Jim Gaffigan's got a joke about that. You can go take a look at. I'm pretty confident of this fact within the entire franchise of McDonald's around the world. They don't hire professional chefs. Why? Well, I could go to McDonald's in Tokyo, I could go to McDonald's in New York, I could go to McDonald's in the smallest town in South Carolina. And here's what I'm pretty sure of. That magical McDonald's fry is going to taste the same in Tokyo, in New York, and Estill, South Carolina. Depending on where you go, it all tastes the same. Why? It's not because of professional chefs from chef schools around the world. It's because they follow a system. They have a system down, and that system has made things predictable so that when I go to a McDonald's anywhere around the world, everything tastes the same. In fact, when I go into McDonald's, I can look to the left side of the counter and the fry machine's over there. The drive-thru's over there. They're all built the same fundamentally. It makes it predictable so that other team members can grab the concept and deliver the same product. Now, I'm not advocating that you become McDonald's. That's not my point. Because I know it's kind of low cost, low budget, and many of you don't like it. I don't really care for it much either. But there is a page from their book that we can take, and that is that we can systematize things and take that system to lower levels of people so that they can be raised up and actually grow in their competency to deliver a world-class product. In fact, I want to say this. A lot of times we focus on our product and we obsess over our product, but the reality is the product is not the product. The process via which you deliver the product, that's the product that you're actually selling. So one of the things that we need to do in the business, we need to be able to identify kind of the drunk mess of the business. You know, when you look around, you're like, I just wake up every day and sort of make it up. Or I think about the business, it's not a complete drunk mess. There is some methodology to what I'm doing, and yet most of that methodology is up here in your head. We've got to be able to get it out so that other people can get that. So what I want to do is walk you through a visualization of that system and what that looks like. I want you to think about your human body. So your human body, we really take for granted that we understand how it works because you see a skeleton in science class in 5th grade. From an age of childhood, we understand how the human body works because it's all around us. But in business, it's less concrete. And so what we decided to do as a firm years ago is at Business on Purpose, we actually kind of autopsy business and began to dissect and look inside and figure out how is a business built, and here's what we found. It's built in 4 foundational cornerstones: purpose, people, process, and profit. And then within that process vertical, there are 4 core systems. So we call them the 4 Ps and the 4 core. And so within that 4 core, we have marketing, sales, operations, administration. And by the way, the order is very important because you can't account for something you don't sell or fulfill or build. You can't build something you hadn't sold, and you can't sell something if people don't know you exist. So the order of that is very important. So when we look at how to build a business system, the first thing we need to understand is what are the business systems in the business. So it's those 4 core, they make up the system, and then underneath those are individual processes. So think about the electrical system in a house. We call it the electrical system, but within the house we've got wires and lights and switches and plugs and everything else. All those are component parts or processes of the macro level system that exists in the electrical system of the house. So you might look and go, hey, what system should I start with? Should I do these all together when I'm building business systems? No. You really should just kind of isolate on one. And quite frankly, for most businesses, the operations is going to be a pretty functional system that you can really lock in on because most of us are really good at our product. And so the product is the actual operation or the fulfillment of the business. So let's start with the operations system of the business. So when we do this, we can actually lay these systems out and we can turn them horizontally and think about all the sub-processes that go in there. Again, the plugs, the lights, the wires, the everything else, and start to build that out. So what I want you to do is I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes. And I want you to think about the operations of the product building or fulfillment of your business. And I want you to list out every single element of that. So let's say you're a home builder. You got to think about foundation and demo and permit pulls and all of those sorts of things. Let's say you're an ice cream shop owner. You got to think about the facility and cleanliness and ice cream and how to make it and how to preserve it and when to freeze it. All of those sorts of things are operational process that make up the operational system of the business. So first step is to set your timer for 5 minutes and just think about and do a brain dump of every process that currently exists in the product fulfillment of your business. All right, now once you've got those processes mapped out, then we just want to take one process. Take the biggest one, the one that causes you the most headache, the one you're finding most challenging to actually delegate to people. And we're going to follow what we call the systems mindset. So the next time you do that thing, so let's say that you're a builder and you need to pull a permit. Don't tell me how to do the process right now. Wait till the next time you pull a permit is, right? So we don't need you going off into the woods by yourself and building all this stuff out. The next time you pull a permit, I want you to capture and document every step as if you're teaching a kindergartner how to pull a permit. Because many times you're teaching kindergartners how to pull permits. I don't mean that demeaning to the people. What I mean is they don't have a lot of experience in that, and so you want to build that within. I've got a friend of mine, Jason Schroeder. He actually thinks that site superintendents ought to be built within the business. Instead of us going and looking at the market for excellent site superintendents, taking people who've got a hunger to learn, they're hungry, they're disciplined, they really want to dive in, and we train them on that. But in order to train them, we got to have the processes documented so you can educate them on exactly what to do. All right, so we named the process. We've started to list out the steps of that process. Here are the next two things we want to do with this. We want to assign ownership. Who's that person we're going to give this to? And then we want to lay out some metrics of success. What are those outcomes? In another video, I talk about the IPO methodology. Input, process, outcome, or output is what we're looking for. And so we need to assign those success metrics so that that person that we're delegating to understands A, what they're being asked to do, and B, what success looks like in that particular process. And then when you put those collections of process together, guess what that makes up? A job role. So you're actually doing two things at one time on this, which makes it incredibly clarifying. And just a little side note, when we think about people and personnel and hiring and all of those sorts of things, I've got another video that will walk you through how to train a new hire. And at the end of that video, I've got a free gift that will actually take you on a step-by-step journey of ensuring that those new hires have exactly what they need to operate the processes that you're investing in them. And so go in the description below and we'll link to that video so you can go over there and start doing that work as well. All right, with your new process that you've sort of listed out, you've assigned to a person, and you've set the key performing indicators of the metrics of what success looks like. And by the way, that becomes your accountability at that point. Now what we want to do is we want to test it with one employee before we roll it out to everybody else. So we can follow a methodology. You ready for this? It's called MAWL, M-A-W-L, model, assist, watch, and leave. Model, assist, watch, and leave. I want to give you an example of this in our business. So we're a business coaching and advisory firm working with firm owners between 3 and 100 employees. Well, it's not just me. We've got a team of 12 full-time professionals, and we've got a lot of those who are professional coaches. Well, when I go out and speak, I don't want to be the only one to go out and speak. That's a lot of speaking and a lot of road travel. And a lot of opportunity that's missed by our other team by them not being able to go do that. So we want to train them on how to speak in the way that I speak, or even better than I speak. And so we follow this method of model, assist, watch, and leave. So the first thing I do is I speak, I teach, I train. And when I do that, I have a recording. And so I record my talks. And with that recording, I then allow them to watch it. And as they're watching it, I'm assisting them as they're thinking about that. And so then they start to prepare for it and they give a talk. So I'm assisting them in giving their talk, helping them prepare and do all that. And then, this just happened yesterday actually with one of our team members, I watched him give the talk. So I modeled it, I assisted him, I watched it. The next time he gives that talk, I won't be there. I'm going to leave. Model, assist, watch, and leave. Too many of us, what we do is we abdicate leadership. And we just kind of give it to them and go, hey, I'll see you later, take care, hope for the best, versus this idea of model, assist, watch, and leave. Walk with them and then eventually part ways from them so that they can start to do it 100% to your effectiveness, 110, 120, and really grow their own ethos when they're giving that presentation or whatever process you're asking them to do. So you've built your first business system. It's really that simple. And I want to remind you that it's more about the person that you're investing that system in. So make sure you go click on that link in the description below to that video that I told you about and ensure that you watch it at the end to get that free gift because it's really going to help you. And the whole purpose we're doing this because frankly you feel like you're in chaos and I want to liberate you from that chaos so you can make time for the things that matter most.